This is kind of like a Billy Squier, This Is Your Life, as we continue. A couple more albums left in the major. I say major because, of course, you've done other things outside of these albums we're showcasing, but the major recorded portion of your career. As that song was playing, I was saying to Billy that I think it's so important that people hear songs like that from your catalog, because I've always been a believer that the songs that were your biggest hits, in my view, were not necessarily your best songs. There were other songs, album tracks like that, Don't Let Me Go, which to me are just brilliant, epic songs. But you brought up a great point. Thankfully, the songs that were hits, because it made those possible.
It enables the other ones.
Exactly. So that's one of my favorites, and as Billy revealed, one of his as well, from an album called Here and Now, Don't Let Me Go, from Billy Squier, who has been my guest here for the second time in the last couple months in the studio, journeying through his incredible career. And that brings us up to another album now, second to last that we're going to cover in this show, 1991, Creatures of Habit. The name of the album. Tell us a little something about this one, Billy.
Well, now I have sort of another blueprint established. That towards the end of Here and Now, I started working with a producer named Godfrey Diamond. He's a New York boy, and it worked out really well. When I started working with Godfrey, he really helped me pull together Here and Now and get it to where it was at the end. So we decided to do this. I decided to do Creatures. I wanted Godfrey to do it too, so he and I produced that. So we had established a working relationship, and we were buddies, and it enabled that record to actually go quite smoothly. Whereas as I said, I kind of labored over Here and Now for a long time. Creatures is a relatively quick record. It wasn't laborious. Went very well. We had a good time, and again, I think that it's a roots record with me finding little ways to stretch myself here and there, but really I think it stays pretty true to what I think the essence of Billy Squier is.
Now, as we covered on Here and Now, I mean, this is a point where you're still kind of trying to recover from what happened with Rock Me Tonight. The album did okay, but obviously didn't do anything near the level of Emotions and Don't Say No in terms of sales and stuff. But Don't Say You Love Me, still a very big song for you, still a song that got a lot of airplay then and still does now.
Here and Now, I found out it actually was a gold record, but of course my label never bothered to give me one. So I saw it one day in a store.
Somebody's gold record, you mean?
No, I mean I got a gold record. It got a gold record award, but they never bothered to give me one.
Oh, geez. Well, that brings me up to another point here. We're going through a catalog here, previous and now. We've got two more albums to cover, but it's extremely rare, I would think, for an artist to have spent so much time on one label. You did essentially your entire career for Capitol Records.
Yeah, I think I went through at least 3 record company presidents.
And
which is probably part of the problem, that there wasn't anybody really manning the ship after Don Zimmerman, who was just this fantastic record guy who did so much for me. And after he left, it was just kind of, the open door policy. Someone would come in and go, they bring someone else in, and everyone had all these new ideas, and no one really knew what to do.
And I was told, just from a business standpoint for a second, with the Capitol Records deal, so a number of people had told me that you had made a deal with them, I believe, I don't know if it was after Emotions or after Don't Say No or something, that at the time was considered an unprecedented record contract.
After Signs of Life, yeah. After
Signs of Life. So was your deal up? Was it a renegotiation?
We renegotiated, yeah.
And at the time,
in the midst of all that controversy, I got the biggest deal in the record industry. So,
was that part
good attorneys?
Was that part of the deal that enabled you to have control over your catalog like you did today? Was that built into that part? of it?
No, I actually got that when I left the label.
Oh, as a kind of a parting situation. Okay. So where's the label at with you? How are you feeling about your label now as you're going into this album, Creatures?
Not too good. I don't hate them, but things are
that's still to come.
No, things are tenuous. When we get to tell the truth, then I will tell you. But no, they were getting a bit tenuous. But there was some support. They didn't support here Enough Is Enough at all. They didn't do anything for it. Mm-hmm. They got better on Here and Now. We did a couple videos which were good. But I actually really liked the videos for Here and Now. And they supported the record to a fair degree. So, as I said, we're doing okay with Creatures, but now I remember with Creatures they didn't want to spend money. They didn't want to do a video, and now you're still in video world, So it's like,
right.
What do you mean you're not going to do a video?
Right. All right. Well, let me run down my favorites here on this.
Okay.
And there's a lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Jeez, let me tell you, I don't even know where to begin because I love so much stuff on this record. 4-Letter Word, Facts of Life, Hands of Seduction, Strange Fire is just totally Rolling Stones like.
Strange Fire is an absolutely classic track that everybody should hear.
Should we stop right there?
I mean, I was going to say play Facts of Life, which I love, but no, I did Strange Fire on the tour last year, and I really do. I think it's absolutely one of those perfect little rock songs, firebrand rock songs. I mean, it is. It's the song. I'd love to hear the Stones do that.
It totally reminds me. Just
Keith, if you're listening, come on,
totally
make my day. No, I mean, I have to say, not setting out to do a Stone song, it definitely smacks of that. And the Stones were a huge influence on me growing up. I mean, probably the foremost influence as a band. With Clapton being my biggest influence as a guitar player, but the Stones were, all over my life for so many years. Like that.
Sure,
and it shows. And I'm not ashamed to say it.
Well, this is an homage of sorts, if you will,
why not?
to the Stones, but it's every bit Billy Squier, and it rocks, man. I always love this song, and I hope to see you do it live again someday. This is a great song from Creatures of Habit. One more album to touch on before we let Billy get out of here, and it's an album that unfortunately some of you guys may not even know existed because it didn't really, it was a great album, I thought, but, well, we'll get to it when we get to it. Let's play Strange Fire, and we'll come back and wrap up with Billy Squier, one more record to talk about.